Brothers and sisters, Black Power. As always, giving honor to the ancestors, sister, Chief of Staff Brother Harris Abdul, father, in-laws, and all of our brothers and sisters that are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation. Well, today is the 30-year anniversary of the Ascension of Cecilia Hooks, my mother-in-law, my queen's mother, who made her transition, which I know was a peaceful, pleasant transition. But nevertheless, let me just explain a few things concerning the beautiful ancestor. You know, legend has it that, you know, she had a good connection and was excellent with relating to other human beings, which is a gift. A lot of us don't have that particular gift where we can connect with other people and get along with everybody and be a likable person. I know a lot of people on this planet do not have that gift, and which it is a gift. And you know, she was very, very known in the neighborhood as well as a go-getter. You know, and at the same time, a Southern woman in terms of her morals and principles and her character. She was very, very strict on womanhood, you know, of being a complete woman. You know, she was never an advocate for what you may call today all these hoochie mamas and wearing this enticing apparel and having a loud mouth in the streets and being a liar or a cheat or anything of that nature. She lived by some serious African principles, you know, and so everyone will want to be eulogized or remembered in that way. I hope that I am. But however, you know, we take time, we take this day as a celebration. Nothing sad, just being grateful. I know I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to have made a lifetime commitment and union with one of her daughters, in which she gravitates some of those same attributes that a mother has, as far as being responsible, being a complete woman, having a wonderful, pristine heart, and walking tall in the spirit of the Creator, which you cannot ask for much more. You know, not being a promiscuous woman, because promiscuity was not something that was practiced in the home. And so, you know, I can feel the energy in the spirit because I always call on her in times of need. You know, not just her, but my father-in-law, my father, and my sister. So we want to just take this time to celebrate and be thankful and cheerful to have had the opportunity to be able to walk in that greatness. And I know that my woman, she, you know, the queen, she really walks in those great big footsteps of her mother. You know, and you know, 30 years, you know, and at the same time, she understands the legacy that she's left and the generations, the other two generations that she has created along with her husband. you know, with grandchildren and great-grandchildren, you know, with further generations to come, you know. But she, along with her mother and grandmother, laid the foundations down. So that's why you always hear me give the ancestors credence and honors each and every day, because they are so rightfully deserving of it. They have went through, suffered, and went through and passed a lot of the trials and tribulations that melanated people go through. And then to come out a winner at the end of the road is a blessing. And so that's why we honor this day as far as being appreciative. I know I appreciate you, Queen. You know, I love you, and you're never forgotten. And I always call on you. You and I know that. You know, along with my father and my sister. You know, because the ancestors mean so much to me, because without them, we would not be here. And so I ask you all, you know, when you take some time for your ancestors, you know, and if they're still here, if you have parents and grandparents that are still here, you know, embrace them. You know, ask a lot of questions why they're still here, so you can be able to get a better understanding of who you are and what attributes and traits that you have that was passed down to you by maybe your greats and great-greats and so on and so on. So that's why it's so important, because one day you'll be an ancestor and you will want to be remembered. You will want to be honored and cherished and revered as such. So, anytime you have any comments, leave some comments in my comment box. Or I appreciate the comments that I recently received. You know, sometimes I forget to lower the music sometimes, because we can get caught up in the music. But I'll be mindful of that. That way you can hear the message much more clearly. So, and the reason for this today, because this is one of her favorite groups, staple singers, who were very, very spiritual during the 70s and brought a lot of hope, you know, as well as Marvin Gaye and the rest of our great ancestors who used music as a form of communication and to sending messages stemming from poverty to the Vietnam War, to the impeachment of Nixon, and so on and so on. So we honor this queen. We give her the greatest of honors. We give you the greatest of honors. And we are very, very thankful for you, for everything that you have done and the path that you've laid down, the legacy that you left for others to follow, for the family to follow. And so we greet you in the great Kemetic and African greetings of Ashe, Hotep, Black Power. Yeah, if you can see the, excuse me one second. If you can see behind me, these are the projects. And I don't like to call them projects. I call them doomsday and death efficiencies. because that's all that they produce is death in most cases. You know, excuse me, rats, roaches, drug addiction, drunkenness, police terrorism, poverty, no electric, no heat, no water, juvenile delinquency, illiteracy, incest, closed-mindedness, despair, hopelessness, alcoholism, AIDS, abortion, pedophilia, violence, criminal thinking, criminal mentality, self-hatred. You know, and these are things that our people, we're not talking about, that we live like this on a daily and consistent basis. And something has to give. You know, the overcrowding of, you know, you go in some of these project houses, man, and you see a 2-bedroom with 14 and 15 people in. You know, there's not, the hygiene level is at an all low. Because you have mothers that are not teaching the babies.
A new music
Excuse me. You see, the parents are not teaching the children hygiene, how to brush their teeth properly, how to wash themselves properly, how to bathe. You know, the disease that takes place. You know, how many hands be on a 1 bar of soap. The staph infections. You know, the children are not going to school because they don't have adequate clothing. They haven't had a meal to eat. The parents are not, and a lot of the parents are at fault for this. Don't get me wrong, because in a lot of instances, these parents, who a lot of them have drug problems, a lot of them have issues with self-hatred. So what they'll do is take some of the money that they're supposed to buy food and pay a bill with and get their hair fixed and go out to the club and spend money on alcohol and drugs. And then the children have to suffer. And then what they do is blame it all on the father if he's not there. You know, and some of you males, because you're not men, because a lot of you are not taking care of your children. You get out here, and a lot of you out there on the corner, you're selling crack, you're selling heroin, you're selling pills, you're selling weed. And before you go around to check and see if your children or your child is okay, you go and buy an outfit for yourself. You go to the club and make it rain. And then you lie and you give people an impression that you're taking care of your child or your children, but you're not doing shit. You know, the lies, the lack of progress that is being made. Just like Section 8 housing. The difference between whites, even though there are more whites on Section 8 than blacks, but they have two different agendas. The whites use it as a stepping stone to become a homeowner. And I'm saying at least 50% of them do. At least 50% of the whites use the Section 8 housing as a stepping stone, and while they save enough money for a down payment on their own townhouse or their own home. Opposed to the blacks who look at it like they've hit the lottery and they're set for life. So they don't even think about saving a dime to get out of that situation. And so what is going to happen when Trump shuts down Section 8, you're going to have a lot of black families being displaced, a lot of black families being without a clue on as to what to do, because they have come, a lot of our people have come so accustomed to the monthly handout of relief and welfare and food stamps that they have not made any other plans. Not one plan B is in the thought process or the minds of our people. And so you would rather look at your child, another generation of failures, another generation of bad credit, another generation of going into adulthood poor. Because poverty is something that's passed down. Just like alcoholism and drug addictions, it is passed down. And those behaviors are passed down. And so the black community is in dire straits in terms of not having a clue on what to do in the event of a crash or a shutdown of welfare in Section 8 and HUD. Because Uncle Tom, that buck dancing Ben Carson, buck dancing Ben, is trying his best to put as many black families on the streets as possible. And so you all better wake up. You all better heave to the call and wake the fuck up. Because this is not a game. It's not a game at all. And at the same time, your children are not receiving adequate education. They're staying home more than they're in school. And then what happens next? Drug dealing, prison, death. And then you're on the news with your son's 6th grade picture saying that he was a good boy, he didn't bother anybody. When in fact, he's been involved in a lot of criminal activities based on the fact there is no supervision in the home. Instead of a lot of you sisters standing up, changing your diet, changing your way of thinking, try to find some employment and deem yourself worthy of a decent man, so your children, the males, can have a male role model that can help them guide themselves through the threshold of manhood, while you nurture and provide womanhood for the girls, for the females. But if you keep listening to Beyonce and this me all by myself, me, myself, and I, and all this bullshit, you're going to end up by yourself. You're going to end up lonely. Your children are going to end up gay. Because they're going to be tampered with if you're not supervising them correctly. See, a lot of you think you can just get on welfare and then do hair on the side without getting going to cosmetology school, getting a license where you can open up your own shop. Your kitchen is not a beauty salon. That's an unsanitary situation. That's unsanitary. Hair all in the food. Hair is all in the refrigerator. See, a lot of you don't clean your stoves. You don't clean your homes up properly. You got clothes everywhere. You're not holding your children accountable. You're not making them pick up behind themselves. So what do you think they're going to do? You give them the impression that a dirty house is normal. And so I just wanted to drop some jewels on our people, because you know, when we're out of order, we need to be spanked, and when we're in order, we need to be celebrated. But it's too much of this shit going on. Too much. Think about it. And if you're one of the people that fit some of the things that I've been discussing, you know, change your situation. That's all you have to do. Don't spend any time trying to defend the bullshit. Change the situation. Don't look at anyone else. Change your situation. Brothers, this is what I want to talk to you brothers about. It's time for you all to stop the bullshitting with the drive-bys on each other, with the self-hatred, with this so-called gang-banging bullshit, which most of you are doing it because you want to fit in, because you are afraid to stand on your own. So you'll get involved in the gang. Yeah, that good lemonade. So you get involved with a gang for the purpose of wanting to fit in, because you're afraid to stand on your own. So you get in to fit in for protection. And then you end up doing something or harming someone else or taking somebody else's life. And then when it's time to pay the bill, you're too much of a coward and a punk to pay the price for what you've done. So to avoid all that, these gangs should form their own militaries and protect the communities. Run all of the pedophiles, run all of the drug dealers, run everybody out of the community that's bringing harm to the community. If you really want to soldier up and be a real true G, that's what a real G does. And you'd be surprised of the respect that you'll receive from these law enforcement, from these devils. They will think twice about harming any of you when they know that their life is going to end the same time that they take somebody else's life in the community. That they're not coming out of the community either. That their wives will be handed a crisp folded flag at the cemetery because he's going down too. You'll be surprised of the respect that you will get. You will be surprised of how the police terrorism would decline. You know, when a cracker knows that he may not come home, definitely come home anymore, more than likely he may not want to even come in the community. And that SWAT bullshit won't mean nothing. Because when you got 200 or 300 black males, black men that are not afraid of shit, SWAT don't even want any parts of you. And see, this is the shit that needs to happen in order for our communities to be safe again. And then the second phase is run all non-black store owners and proprietors out of the community. ASAP. Effective immediately. Give them 24 hours to leave town, to get the fuck out of town. And create, take the drug money, create black businesses, mom and pop store, our own dollar stores. Not no whole bunch of liquor stores and fucking carryouts and all that. You know, things that's going to enhance the consciousness of the black community. Car wash, cleaners, a mosque, a temple, health food store. Then the black communities will begin to change. Then our children will see a change. It will give them hope. They'll be able to stand beside their father with pride and say, this is my dad. This is my father. He is a straight G. He's a warrior. He's protecting us. The children will feel comfortable. They will begin to listen. They'll be attentive in school. Their grades will go up. They won't trip off any material shit. And you'll see progress in the black community. One community at a time. Two communities at a time. And the only way that they can take that away from us is make an attempt on the black community like they did in Tulsa, the Black Wall Street, drop bombs. But they know better to do that, because they will only fuck it up for their people that's still on the ground. Now, that's straight up strategy to take our communities back. We can't ask for the communities back. We can't beg for the communities. Why should we beg for a piece of our own community when white America has every goddamn thing? No, it's not. No. Has to be some changes, brothers and sisters. What you think of that? What do you think of that? You know, and this shit has to stop too. This shit has to stop. This is Young Thug. Why he has the name Young Thug, you know, baffles me. You know, and this is part of the effeminization of the black male. And this is what the white so-called Jews in the music industry pays him royally to fag himself out, so that the little children, the black children in the black community, can follow him. And this is one of the reasons why we see 7, 8-year-olds walking around like Young Thug with tattoos and lipstick on, you know, ready to perform female acts on another boy. This shit has to end. And they're not doing, he's not the only one. This is everywhere. This is everywhere. And this is what you call the homo thug. Snoop Dogg is the same way. He gets his fingernails and his toenails, French tips on his fingernails and toenails. He's a part of the homo thug too. Master P's son, Lil Romeo, is part of the homo thug scene. You know, and not only that, it has become widespread. It's in basketball, it's in football. Michael Sands and this young college guy. Now, let me explain this to you. And see what they did, feminization of the black male. And the reason why I say the black male, because you don't see any white baseball players or any white athletes, quote unquote coming out of the closet and all this shit. You don't see the white athletes do that. You see the black athletes do that because it's part of the effeminization. And so, Obama called Michael Sams when he announced that he was a fucking faggot. Obama called him and congratulated him and thanked him for being a fucking faggot. Told him, thank you. I respect you. You have a lot of heart. You are a great person. You're going to do a lot in the sports world. This is what faggot ass Obama told Michael Sams over the phone. He called his home. But you couldn't call Oscar Grant. You couldn't call their homes. You didn't call Mike Brown's family. You didn't call Eric Garner's family. You didn't call Sean Bell or Tamir Rice's family. You couldn't do that. But when somebody announces that they are a cock dick sucker, you can call them personally and thank them. This is how fucked up we are as a people. You know, this is Prince. I mean, may he rest in power, may he rest in peace. This is the same shit, you know, and you know, I know a lot, you know, he was given a pass by a lot of people. You know, but at one time he wasn't. You know, coming on stage with women's panties on and boots. You know, I don't care who you are, you don't get a pass with that. That's not, I don't give a fuck how good your music is and how inspirational and how great of a musician you are. That's not, you don't get a pass. When all actuality, you are a fucking faggot. No. You know, and you still have people that's walking around imitating Prince. Not his music, not his legacy, but his attire. This man wasn't straight. He was not straight wearing lipstick, makeup, women's panties, and high-heel shoes, and women's heel shoes and stilettos with bell bottoms, silk pants on with no back pockets on, spinning and shaking his motherfucking ass. He was not straight. He was not straight. And his music is going to go down in history. That's why he's so revered and honored by white America, because he is a non-threatening black male. He's non-threatening. He never attempted to purchase anything such as a franchise or any type of athletic team or invest in anything. It was just about him. You know, Prince has good music. I don't like all of his music, but at the same time, he's a queer. He was a queer. You know, and we have to start holding people accountable. We can't just give certain people passes and then smash everybody else. It doesn't work like that. That's not how the universe works. And so, you know, we need to, put an end to this effeminization of the black male. Because right now, as it stands, you know, you don't know who's straight and who's gay. You know, you got these big muscular guys that be in these gyms, you know, that lift all these weights, and just like those cops, you know, those law enforcement officers, they're the same way. Most of them are gay. Most of them are fags.
Live
and they lift weights and to make it appear like they're hard and like they're tough. But they're not tough. They're fucking faggots. You know, because why do you have to lift 700-800 motherfucking pounds? For what? For what? Unless you plan on breaking somebody's motherfucking neck. And more than likely it's somebody that looks like you. Because you afraid somebody will peep that motherfucking bitch in you. Somebody will peep your motherfucking game. And so you will have to kill them to prevent from being exposed. Trust me. You know, it's no more cutting corners. It's no more outs. It's no more outs. It's no more peeping around the corners and all that bullshit, hoping you don't get exposed. Those days are over. It's time for everybody to take their licks. Take your motherfucking licks and stand up and keep moving on. Those who are weak, you're gonna fall to the wayside. Because we got babies that are dying. We got babies that are dying. We got delinquency that's running rampant in the black community. You know, ignorance, illiteracy. You know, a lot of our brothers and sisters and our elderly are becoming introverts because they are afraid to go outside. Particularly our elderly, because they watch the television, they see how fucked up things are, and a lot of them have begun to have anxiety attacks and become paranoid about going out there in the way the world is today, because it's dangerous and it's confusing. And if you're not on point, if you're not conscious about your surroundings, you're going to get caught up too. And so, I mean, for those who think this shit is a game, who do you think this is? It's Anthony Anderson. You know, and they are being paid. They are being paid royally, you know, to Fruit Loop around Hollywood now. You know, with these white executive directors, these movie directors. The director's couch is not a myth. This is some real shit, you know. You know, and if you think it's a joke, just stay tuned. Because our babies, our boys and our girls, watch these people. They look up to these people. And a lot of them going to dress and talk and act the way that they act. You know, Tyler Perry is leading our babies on a one-way trip to hell. On a one-way trip to hell. Lee Daniels the same way. You know, Tom Cruise, all of these motherfuckers, you know, are fucking our babies up. We had to wake up, brothers and sisters. This is not a game. I'll let you just give you, this is just something for you to think about, brothers and sisters. Right now, in closing, I just want to say peace and blessings to my mother-in-law, Cecilia Hooks. You know, happy 30th. Happy 30th Ascension Day. You know, and we love you. We miss you. And don't stop coming to visit us. Continue to visit us, continue to give us strength, continue to give us hope, continue to give us power, and continue to bless us. And in closing, as always, Hotep, Black Power.